Hey, how's it going today, guys? What a day yesterday was. What a day yesterday was. Today is Wednesday, February the 1st. We got 12 games on tap. We had some pretty nice games yesterday. A lot of studs didn't perform. I'm going to break down my lineup, my one lineup that I do on Fanduel, and then my one lineup that I do on DraftKings, and show you guys where I messed up at. I really messed up, but it is what it is. Let's jump right into it. I want to try to speed off into things. What a day it was yesterday for the studs, and if you've been watching my videos, um, if you've been watching my videos, the studs, I'm sort of like a against the grain kind of guy. You know, I will pay up. Don't get me wrong. I will pay up for guys, but more than likely, I'm like against the grain. I'll probably like be going balanced and things like that. Most more than likely, I'll just come over here real fast to FanDuel. Well, FanDuel is a place where I throw my one dart and I just get on my one GPP dart. If it hits, it hits, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I keep it moving. DraftKings is a place where I do a little bit more, a lot of cash and things like that. I took Kyle Lowry, Damian Lillard. I thought he'd have a better game than he did, but I took him. Norman Powell just a plug and play. Batum, somebody who's been consistent for me. I plugged him in. Danilo Gallinari had a disappointing outing yesterday. I fell asleep. I didn't get a chance to watch that game. Um, a lot of Lakers players would have been a good way to go. Carmelo Anthony, someone who I knew not to even pay up for on DraftKings. I mean on FanDuel. DraftKings was the spot for him. He was like a DraftKings only play coming in at 8,500. I know that was crazy of me. Marvin Williams, someone who I just played a little bit. Well, I'll tell you in a second. But Kenneth Reed, he was a self-explanatory play. Hernan Gomez. This is where it got tricky for me. I was leaning one way all day, and then, an hour before lock, we got all types of news. So that just really, it didn't sidetrack me. It just caused me to go a whole different way, and I'm quite sure it did that for most of the folks in the DFS world. It caused us to go a whole different way. You know, this lineup did cash. Minimum, and it's always a good thing when you cash. This is how Hernan Gomez. Keep that in mind. This is how I'm gonna break down my next lineup and how I did not cash. Um, I took Kyle Lowry. Mostly, roster construction is different between FanDuel and DraftKings, but I pretty much had a lot of the same base guys. And where I did not cash is right here. Joakim Noah. Uh, Hornacek has been really, really fucking with my brain lately. Joakim Noah played 40 minutes last game. Um, you know, the news broke between uh, Chris Stapps and I wanted Noah because I knew he would be a little lower owned. I really, 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 really wanted Noah, so I played him on DraftKings. He ended up getting 15 minutes. Uh, I didn't want to be without um, Hernan Gomez, and I put him on draft and I put him on FanDuel. I knew one of those guys were gonna have a good game. It turned out Hernan Gomez got all the minutes. O'Quinn got a nice chunk of minutes, and he just left Noah out with 15 minutes and just said pretty much "fuck you," and that's what happened. If I stick to Hernan Gomez on both sites, I cash on both sites. if I stick to Joakim Noah, I don't cash on neither site. So, I ain't no telling what else, what other pivots I would have made on FanDuel. But long story short, I didn't. I just missed the cash line because of Noah. And there you have it. It is what it is. That's how I didn't cash. So, moving over to um, today, we got 12 games on tap today. Plenty games. Plenty games coming up, and let me dive right into it. I just want to try to move through this thing a little fast, a little fast, because I'm pressed for time, and I just want to point out some nice options and some nice price points. Starting off with the Indiana and Orlando game. It's more than enough games for us to find some value. If you don't want to dig to the bottom of the barrel, or if you don't want to go, if you can, it's enough mid-range prices and everything. And I'll be looking to point that out. A couple guys who I like, and that's how we're gonna roll. Now, coming in at Orlando, do we have a total for this game? I can throw that out there real fast. 211. Indiana by 2.5. So they got it. Vegas say they like this game to be close. Paul George, he's been tearing it up lately. I don't mind the play. There's some lengthy defenders over there on the Orlando side of things. So if you feel like that can throw you for a loop, then I understand. You got Aaron Gordon, and then Paul George will see some Jeff Green as well. Jeff Teague, somebody who I like, especially he's coming in at 7,400. I like Jeff Teague today. He's 7,800 on FanDuel. Miles Turner at 6,800. I probably can find somebody else. I don't mind the play though. Thaddeus Young, somebody who I'm probably not on. CJ Miles, GPP. All the rest of these guys are GPP. CJ Miles, he gave us a dud last game, and I know he'll probably be looking to bounce back. Especially against he'll most likely be playing the 2. Last game you had Fournier, he came off the bench, so I'm not a big fan of their defense at the 2 guard position over there in Orlando. On the Orlando side of things, Vucevic is a guy who's always been played for me, especially if you're confident that he's going to get that 30 upwards of 30 minutes. If he gets that, he's a fire up option without a doubt. I like the play, especially for GPPs. Another GPP option in Elfrid Payton. Serge Ibaka, he finally snapped out of it. He had a pretty nice game last game. 40 fantasy points against Minnesota at the 4th spot. Another GPP option, but I don't mind the play. Aaron Gordon, GPP. Aaron Fournier, GPP. Interesting play in Jeff Green right here. He is 3,700. Interesting play. I'm quite sure he'll see some time, especially against Paul George, and he might be able to. He'll be backing up the 3 and the 4, so that's how he gets his tick. Biombo, GPP, that's about it. We have a big enough slate to just keep it moving. Minnesota and Cleveland, interesting game, interesting scenarios over here. Minnesota and Cleveland coming in at 213 over under. Cleveland favored by 7 at home. Let's get right off into the Minnesota side of things. Gorgie Jing, 5,500, been consistent lately. You're looking for a mid-range cheap option in the center position. I don't mind the play. He'll have to get down there with Tristan Thompson, but if you can find better price tags and options, in different spots because of the bigger slate. Then I don't mind it. Towns been smashing it. I don't know how this game could be. How the game flow would go with this game, but he lost the minutes. He's a stud, and you can see he's been ripping it up. I don't mind Towns. Interesting scenario right here. You got Wiggins going up against LeBron. Um, uh, Shit, it's all types of narratives to go with this one. He got the traded. They drafted him. LeBron came. They gave him the boot for Kevin Love, and he's been sitting over there in Minnesota. I know he's licking his chops for this one. It's all types of narratives to go with this one. I don't mind Andrew Wiggins. Last time Cleveland played, I took Harrison Barnes. I was very confident in the Harrison Barnes pick. It paid off for me. I don't mind picking small forwards against LeBron, but then again, Cleveland, they need a win. LeBron knows Wiggins is coming to outshine them, or to at least get his. There's some animosity here, and you can't tell me there isn't. I just know it is. Wiggins has been showing signs of life lately. He's been flashing. His price is up there a little bit though. If you don't want to fall for the narrative, trust me, I don't blame you if you don't. I'm just pointing out a few things. So I'll be contemplating on that all day. Ricky Rubio, he's got a tough matchup defensively, but as we all know, he can get his. In all different types of phases of the game. He's at 7,200. He's priced a little high. Zach LaVine, he went down like 200. I like his matchup. He disappointed me last game. I liked his matchup then as well against Orlando. I don't mind the play. Sabaz Muhammad, a cheap option at 4K, somebody who's been getting it in lately, trying to return on that tag. He has been returning on that tag as of late. Will I be rostering him? I don't think so. Not on a big slate like this. Moving over to the Cleveland side of things, is where it's going to get tricky. You got to watch out for the injury situation with Love. So with that being said, starting right at the top, big narrative game for LeBron James. He is who he is. He's got a price tag of 7,200 on Fanduel and on DraftKings. On Fanduel, his price is 11K. So it's an 800 difference. Now, Cleveland needs to win some games, man. They're looking bad. They're going through a rough patch of the season. LeBron James is, LeBron James, he's a fairly decent play because of his peripherals. He can get a triple-double every given night. I'm looking for him to be ultra-aggressive this game. He wants to prove to, first of all, they need a win. That's first and foremost. Then, he'll have Andrew Wiggins coming at his throat. So I'll be looking for LeBron James to be aggressive this game. Kyrie Irving has a beautiful matchup. He's at 8,200. On FanDuel, he's priced at 8,600. Similar price, about a 400 difference. I'm definitely not a fan of Rubio's defense, so I wouldn't mind firing him up. Those are about the only two guys that I'm on from this game. The rest of these guys, I can find something else on another part of the slate. Moving over to the ATL, but in that Cleveland thing, Cleveland game, keep an eye out on Love. He's a big part of what can go on in the DFS because then you do have a little value opening up over there as far as guys like Shannon Fry. Shannon Fry, he'll be coming in at 4K, looking to spread the floor, and he does hit value when he gets when Kevin Love is out. So Um, Moving over to ATL in Miami, we have a total of 203. Atlanta favored by 2 on the road. So getting right off into the Atlanta side of things, Dwight Paul Millsap, he's somebody who I was on last game. Hope you guys had played him. Uh, he's just been consistent. He's been consistent outside of this game right here. He's been kind of consistent, pretty much consistent throughout a vast amount of games. So you know Miami, they play a slow pace. You know. Uh, but I don't mind the play. He's probably one of my favorite, probably one of my favorites, if not the my most favorite play on the Atlanta side of things. If I decide to roster anyone from there, Dwight Howard, he'll be matched up with Whiteside, and I don't mind the play. It's probably somebody I can probably shy away from, and find some better value at center. And he can go off too. Anything can happen. There, he's got a tough matchup with Dragic, somebody who I rarely target point guards against. Bazemore, the rest of these guys are GPP options. I don't even have to go into the rest of these guys on Miami's side of things. On Miami side of things, Miami at home, short-handed. Tyler Johnson, he's back. He's back. He said he's not comfortable yet. He's played 19 minutes. Last game, so it looks like that cut right into Ellington's minutes. Ellington ended up getting 18 minutes, so it looked like they split those minutes. So that's something to keep an eye out on. You can see the big drop off. So that's really like hurting Ellington. Whiteside, the minutes are there for him. He just got to find the production. His price is steady creeping down, and that's a good thing for as bad as he's been burning people. In GPPs, I don't mind the play. Deion Waiters, he did not see a drop off in minutes last game. He's been shooting it, man, and somebody I don't mind to play, but I haven't been playing him because of that price tag. Hasn't been hurting me, yes, but I don't mind just staying up off of me staying up off of him, especially on a slate like this. James Johnson, I play him. I don't know if I'll be looking at him this game, but at 5,800, he's somebody I don't mind. He's he's not multi-positional over here. On Fanduel, he's priced at 6,100. He's around the same. Somebody who I don't mind. Somebody who I really don't mind. Goran Dragic. I don't mind the play. I like Goran Dragic. Somebody who I'll be looking at, and I'll be keeping tabs. And, he'll be in the back of my mind all day if I want to fire him up or not. I don't like the defense over there at the point guard's position at Atlanta, so I definitely don't mind the play. He's 7,400 on FanDuel. He's priced at 8K. So there you have it. Let's keep it moving over to the next game at New Orleans and Detroit. Do I have the total for this one? 213. Detroit by 6. Detroit at home. Let's look at New Orleans side of things. Anthony Davis. They just went to overtime. They'll be on the back-to-back. Uh, he had a overtime probably help put a little stamp, but he did have a bad game. He went 4 for 18 last game. So there you have it. But he still returned, value, almost value, however you want to look at it. We want some upside on that price tag. Drew Holiday at 7,700. I don't mind the play. I rostered him yesterday, and he exceeded value. That was very nice. We got late breaking news that Evans was out due to rest. I'm quite sure he'll probably be back this game. If he doesn't, then you could look to Etwan Moore. You see he benefited from him being out. He got more shot opportunities. He went upwards almost 10 times on that price tag. I really missed out on that. I would have loved to have him yesterday. Terrence Jones, he's somebody who stepped up because of the injury situation over here. We got an injury situation to what's his name? Dante Cunningham. So that's something to keep an eye out on. Terrence Jones stepped up in his absence, and he did pretty good, 6 for 14, and 31 fantasy points. His price is still up, and he makes for a GPP option at that price. And then the rest of these guys, they're nothing but GPP options as well. On the Detroit side of things, you're looking at Drummond, Reggie Jackson, Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, and John Lua. All of these guys right here, they log a ton of minutes. These are the guys. These are the bread and butter of the team. Now, starting off with Andre Drummond, he'll get a chance to see Anthony Davis a lot this game. So he's coming in at 7,900. On Fanduel, he's coming in at about, 8,700. So there's about an 800 difference. It's going to be an interesting matchup. They don't rebound well over there in New Orleans, so Drummond can pose some. He could put up some some great numbers with the best of them. Last game, Valanciunas, he did have 20, and against New Orleans Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken, he had 20 points and about a good 13 rebounds. So Andre Drummond, he can get that double, and I'll have to think about that play. I'm really interested. I really have to think about that play. You probably can go somewhere else. I don't know. I know that for sure. But he does have a pretty nice matchup. Reggie Jackson has a nice matchup as well. You see Kyle Lowry, he had started off the game kind of rough, but he finished strong. I'm not a fan of the defense from the point guard position over there in New Orleans. Reggie Jackson, he could have a nice game. Caldwell Pope, one of my favorite plays over here tonight. He's someone who's going to log a ton of minutes, and if he's aggressive offensively, I could see him have a really nice game. Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris, John Lue, these two guys, they log a lot of minutes. These guys, I'll be looking, I'll be looking somewhere else, the cheaper options, some guys in a better spot. But I don't mind the play. They're just some guys who I've been playing early in the year, and I kind of fell off of them. John Lure, cheaper price option. Someone who can return value off their option, off their price tag. But I'm quite sure there's a little bit more better options. And that's about it for that game. Moving over to New York and Brooklyn. What do we have on the total side for this one? 223. New York by 2.5. on the road. So let's jump right into the New York side of things. Carmelo Anthony, still at a nice price on a big slate. I rostered him yesterday, a couple points off of value. Hey, I still don't mind the play. He's Carmelo Anthony. I love the price. Kristaps Porzingis, keep an eye out on that. Derrick Rose, keep an eye out on that. We already know the pivots: Brandon Jennings, Herman Gomez, Courtney Lee. I didn't check up on what he did yesterday. Has he kept the streak alive? It looks like he fell off yesterday, but he's been playing well as of late. 4,300. Somebody I'll be looking. I'll be looking to roster somewhere else if I'm looking to spend that type of money. Here's where it gets tricky, and I want to break these three down real fast and kind of like show you guys where I messed up at. Here you have Hernan Gomez against ATL, 3 overtime game or 4 overtime game, whatever it was. He plays for a minute, 3 minutes. Then he comes back and get the start and plays 32 minutes. He played 15 minutes before that, and then he played 24 minutes before that. We got to find out what's going on over here in New York. Now, you go down here to Joakim Noah. He plays 15 minutes last game, 41 minutes in the overtime, in the big overtime game, and then in Charlotte, he plays 12 minutes and 19 minutes in Dallas. Then you go over here to Kyle O'Quinn. He played 17 minutes last game, 26 minutes in the overtime, in the overtime thriller, 16 minutes before that, 6 minutes before that. Now, with that being said, you figure that shit out. I'm not even going to try to go through that. I guess if Hernan Gomez gets the start and Kristaps is out, fire him on up. Rose, and if Rose is out, Justin Holiday, he's been getting uptick, a cheaper option at 3,200. He played 20 minutes last game. He had 10 attempts at that price tag. 9 attempts at that price tag. He attempted 4 3-pointers. He missed out on that. Against Charlotte, he played 20 minutes. I'm not even going to count this overtime game. He played 20 minutes against Charlotte, went 3 for 6, and then, he had 20 fantasy points. So, just something throwing out there. Anyway, let me get off this game and go to the Brooklyn side of things. And another tricky situation, tricky scenario over here. Now, first I'm going to point out Brook Lopez, a fine play. You know what he's been doing. Trevor Booker, look at the price tag on him, 4,400. Don't mind the play. You got to watch the coach over here too. This coach here is kind of sporadic. Look at him. 26, 16, 24, 19. You got to figure out, when the minutes are safe for these guys. Another thing, another guy here, minutes are sporadic. Good matchup. Sean Kilpatrick, 17 minutes here, 25, 34, 15 minutes. You got to, the inconsistency is real, but all these guys over here, they play fast paced. You just got to hit the jackpot with the value, because all these guys are value plays. Interesting though when you look at Den Wendell and Isaiah Whitehead. Now, these guys are probably at a dead split as you get on the minute side. They're cheap, 24, 24, 26, 33, or whatever, how you want to look at it. Hidden value, some cheaper options, point guards. Now you're looking at Isaiah Whitehead. They're about a dead split on a minute side. It's hidden and exceeding value, 28, 29, 25. So those are some guys, that been kind of at a dead split, on the men's side, um, at the point guard position. Levert, interesting play, GPPs, Bogdanovich, GPPs. The rest of them guys at GPPs, man. So have fun with that. Toronto and Boston. Do I have a total for this one? Let's check it out. No, I do not. But what we do know that is Boston is at home. We'll look at the Toronto side of things. Kyle Lowry in Toronto, they'll be on the back-to-back. Now, Kyle Lowry, he's a fine play at that price. I mean, he's a fine play. He's coming in at 8,600. He had a pretty nice game for me last game. That was awesome. In the overtime, that pretty much helped out as well. He's 8,700 on DraftKings. DeMar DeRozan, he should be out, so that ups the usage for him. Norman Powell, just been on fire in the absence of DeRozan. I don't mind firing him up. On Fanduel is a really nice place to fire him up. He's still priced low. He's at 4,200 for what he can do for you. Wait a minute. Let me check that. His price on Fanduel is 4,200. So that's an awesome play. He will be chalky on Fanduel for sure. But here's where it can get kind of tricky for you. Not tricky. He's multi-positional on DraftKings. So you can either slide him into the 2 spot or you can slide him into the 3 spot, especially with all of this value that we have at the 2 guard position here on this slate. He can cancel out a lot of small forwards for you. So keep that in mind with the multi-positional thing that they got going on at DraftKings. So it's roster construction is key, in helping you save money, save in different areas. Just want to point that out. Big Val, he crushed it yesterday. He played 32 minutes, 9 for 17. That's what you want him to get, that, at least that 10, 15, 20 points. The rebounds are there for him no matter what. You want him to step up his game offensively, and, that's what you want out of Val. Nice price tag. I don't mind him tonight. He's coming in at 5,400 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is 5,800. Cheap option. Terrence Ross, GPPs, Carroll. I didn't really run a check on and see what Carroll did last game, but he had 24 points. Fantasy points, 10 attempts from the field, a little bit of everything right there. 8 rebounds, 8 points, 3,900. His price is going down, and the minutes are there, so you know what that means. It might be time to look and give him some serious consideration. Luke Nogueira, he's in a split with Valanciunas for minutes. Someone who does a lot, and he does a lot when he comes in. He can hit value in a hurry. At 3,800, if you like him, plug him. He's gonna get limited minutes though. And that's about it. GPP options. The rest of these guys, they're GPP options. Corey Patterson. Patrick Patterson, Corey Joseph, and the rest of these guys. Moving over to Philly and Dallas. Interesting game here. Dallas is a pace down team. Uh, Dallas is at home. Um, what are the totals we have for this one? Do I have them? Where is that? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? I guess not. I don't. Yes, I do. 202 over under. Dallas favored by 6.5 at home. And let's jump right into it. Looking at the Philly side of things, Robert Covington is getting up there. He's been playing well. 6,300. I've been playing him. Some, going against this team, I probably will not play him though. I ain't gonna lie, he's 6,400 on Fanduel. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't mind the play, but I probably won't be playing him. Nerlens Noel, 6,200. And Embiid, I think he's doubtful for this game. I don't think he'll be playing, but I always keep an eye on the injury situation. But Nerlens Noel, this is a very bad rebounding team. This is a bad rebounding team. But I think I could probably find some safer somewhere else. Do I mind the play? I don't know, man. I don't know if I mind the play or not. This is a big slate. He has been playing very well. He's 6,200. I would like to at least see 30 minutes, though, man. But, it is what it is. It is a bad rebounding team. But they're paced down, though. They like to control the game. So, I don't know. Ilyasova, I don't even know if I'll be on any of these guys from Philly. I could see myself rostering TJ McConnell. He's been ultra consistent, coming in at 5,400 on FanDuel. He's priced at probably around the same. Let me see, 5,900. Oh, so he gets the minutes and he's been consistent, man. Everybody over here is probably there are some cheaper options. Might be able to find better, cheaper options. GPP options is, that's how I look at them. You know, even cheaper options down here. You look at guys like Nick Stockis.
I don't got no socks to put on.
Yeah, you look at Nick Stockis and look right over there on that, right over there, with the clean towels and everything. I just watched those socks. Get you a pair of those. Clean towels and those socks. I made it. Excuse me. Yeah, so Nick Stockis, cheaper option. Little guy. All these guys, they're around the Joe Hendersons. They're around around minimum price down there, just sitting down there, producing, So those are some guys that you can don't forget about. I always go down there and look at those guys, man, and they like, just pick me. Come on, pick me. And I hardly pick them, man. If I ran multiples, I'll definitely play those guys. On the Clippers, moving over to the next game. Oh no, excuse me, I got sidetracked. Let's go over here to the Dallas side of things. Going on up, Harrison Barnes. I don't mind the play. 6,300. I definitely don't mind the play at home. I like the play. Keep an eye on the injury situations. Dan Williams, Berea, and so on and so forth. Andrew Bogut. Keep an eye on those injury situations. Seth Curry, a mid option as shoot guard. Shoot guard is loaded today with a lot of mid options. 5,400 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he's priced at 5,800. Don't mind the play. At 5,400, Yeah, I don't mind the play. Dirk Nowitzki still sitting around there at 5K. Another guy I don't mind the play. Cheaper option. Wesley Matthews, multi-positional player, 4,700. Logs a ton of minutes. I definitely don't mind the play. Um, a guy that can be consistent. If you catch him right, especially before his price creeps up to that, around that 5K range, that's where that's around where he resides, between 5K, 5,700, stuff like that. Interesting thing to point out: if you do want to roster him, he's 4,700 on DraftKings, and he's 5,600 on Fanduel. So, there you have it. Yogi Ferrell, fine barring an injury situation. If things stay the same, really good draft value play. The minutes are there for him, and that's awesome. Somebody, who can hit value in a lot of different categories. So, at 4K, all he's got to do is give you 20 to hit value of I like the play. And, the rest of these guys, lingering down here probably be, their GPP options. Dwight Powell, I watched a little bit of that game. I think he got a little bit of run, and he did. So that's something to keep an eye out on. Been really frustrated. I know the boy has talent, man. I know he has talent, and they just don't give him the minutes. So, barring injury situations, if he could stay in the rotation, man, at least at the 5, I definitely wouldn't mind rostering Powell. Just keep an eye on the injury situation. LA Clippers and Phoenix. Total for this one is 221 over under. Clippers by 4. I like this game. I really like this game for some reason. Yes, I like this game. Phoenix at home. So let's jump right into the Clipper side of things. Okay. Chris Paul out. Blake Griffin. I like the price tag on him. They haven't played in a minute, so let me click on him real fast. He's coming in at 7,500 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he's priced at 8,900. So that's a big price discrepancy right there. 1,400. Between both of the sites. I like the price tag on him. Golden State, they got murdered at Golden State. So he's played 2 games since he's been back. Then he's got a big gap in between games. I think he's ready to go upwards of 30 minutes. I like the matchup. I like the pace of this game. If we can be sure that he's going to get regular minutes, he'll probably be matched up with Marquise Chris. Chris, or he'll probably see if he'll probably see a little bit of Tucker as well. I like if we get that aggressive Blake Griffin, I like him. I like that play. I'm still thinking. I love to play for GPPs. I'm still thinking about firing them up. But like I say, as the day goes, I have to meditate on it. It's early today, but that's just something that's been sticking out to me. DeAndre Jordan, athletic big man. He's been kind of quiet lately. I think he can go under the radar. He's got a tough matchup with Tyson Chandler, but that's something I didn't do. Something I didn't do this morning is look at these previous games, and I encourage you guys to go back and look at the previous matchups and previous histories from all the teams, and see what they did, last time out. So that's something you guys need to do. I usually do it. I'll do it after my video. I couldn't do it today. I got a few things I had to do. So But after I do a little bit more research, figuring things out, I'll have to run a check on DeAndre Jordan. But the game will be up pace game, so there'll be plenty of opportunities for rebounds and things like that. Austin Rivers, he's priced up, man. He's priced up. On a slate like this, I could probably find better options. I don't. Depending on what position he plays, a point or whatever, I don't mind the play though. I'm not a big fan of the defense at the point guard position over there at Phoenix. You see, good point guards have been lighting them up. Conley just hit him up, just went beast mode on him, but and Conley was kind of hot too as well. J.J. Redick, he can light it up with the best of them. Raymond Felton, you just gotta find out, who's starting and who's in and who's not. But I could probably find something, cheaper and or with better usage in different scenarios and different spots of this slate. So over to the Phoenix side of things. Eric Bledsoe, he's coming in at 9K. Somebody who can go crazy at any given day. I probably won't be playing him though. Interesting play is Devin Booker. I like his matchup. Whoever they decide to put on him, I like his matchup. He shoots over guys. He's aggressive. He gets his shots. If he gets hot, he's going off into the 40 fantasy point range. I don't mind the play in this pace of game. I don't mind the play. I like this game. For some reason, I just gotta narrow things down. Tyson Chandler, he's almost 6K on DraftKings at 5,900. He's 5,800 on Fanduel. Someone who I might consider rolling out. I doubt it though. He can have a good game. We just got a big slate. We're wrestling with a big slate, TJ Warren is interesting. I remember this game. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do remember this game. Things have changed a little bit. I know the last time these two teams played, he did have a pretty nice game though. Because I had him. Let me see. He had like 40 fantasy points. But it's a different game though, because you will have Blake back. So but 4,200 for TJ Warren, 4,400 for TJ Warren, 4,200 for Tucker, Brandon Knight, 3,800. Marquise Chris, he had a nice game last game, even though they were getting stretched out by Memphis, but he had a pretty nice game, 8 for 12 from the field, 33 fantasy points. In a fast-paced game, he can return value on that price. But they're GPP options, and that's about it. Especially on a big slate like this. Memphis and Denver. Over to the next one. Memphis and Denver. I don't have the totals for this one. So starting off on the Memphis side of things. Marc Gasol's been an absolute beast this year, 7,800. I like that price tag. Conley, somebody who I definitely love this price tag on Conley, and I like his matchup. Zach Randolph, he just knows how to play ball. If Denver can keep this one close, if this can be a close game or whatever, he's definitely in play. And the rest of these guys, they're not even on my radar. The rest of them guys, I just had to point out those three. These three guys over here, Marc Gasol, they're priced decent, and especially Conley. He has a pretty nice price tag, and for the run that he's gonna get. So there you have it. But Vince Carter is somebody who pops in and pops out, and gets minutes and does things. And he's up in age, but the fountain of youth can show out every once in a while. Moving over to the Denver side of things, could we see the Joker? He has an out tag on him, so keep an eye out on this situation. He'll be priced at 9,800 if he gets the nod today. Gallinari, Fareed, Wilson Chandler had a nice game last night. Kenneth Fareed had a nice game last night. Danilo Gallinari was disappointing for me. Gary Harris played well. Barton was out. So these injury situations, we'll have to keep an eye on it with the Jokic, Barton, Moutier thing. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. You have to think Nurkic had 12 minutes last night. If Jokic is out, you have to think Nurkic will get some run. It's just that 5. Why are they pushing this price tag up is what I'm not understanding. He's not doing anything. This was the day Jokic got hurt, and then the next they automatically pushed him up 1,300 to 43. Didn't do anything in 15 minutes. Against Phoenix, and then somehow he got pushed. He scored 8 fantasy points. Somehow they ended up before the Lakers game. They pushed him up again. Like, dude, what are y'all doing? Like, come on, DraftKings, get it together. Now y'all done pushed him up to 5K, and a guy who hadn't even seen 20 minutes in forever. A guy who doesn't even average 20 minutes. So, come on, DraftKings, get it together now. So, there you have it for that situation. You can see where I'm coming from. Darrell Arthur, somebody who played well last night. His services can probably be in play depending on the injury situations. And Jamal Murray, I didn't even get a chance to see what Jamal Murray did last game. So he had a pretty nice game. But going up against a Memphis team that, if they can dictate the pace on the road, that'll cancel out some of these guys' performances. On the slate this big, if you feel like you want to reach out to some of these guys, be my guest. But there's other guys in different spots that you could probably look into. If you think Memphis can't control the pace of this game and it can get up tempo a little bit, then these guys can be in play. But injuries are the major concerns over here. You have to just keep an eye out on who's in and who's out. Milwaukee and Utah. Do I have the totals for this one? It should be. 197 over under. Utah by 8. Utah at home. Let's look on the Milwaukee side of things. ABC, I probably won't be rostering him. It's coming in at 10K. Jabari Parker, 7,200. He's an interesting play in a slow-paced game. He burned a lot of us last game. I'm not mad at him though. Greg Monroe has a tough matchup. If he gets the minutes, he has a tough matchup against Gobert. Malcolm Brogdon, somebody who I'm not on. Dylan Vadova either. Michael Beasley, I'm probably not on none of these guys over here. And then the total was just out of whack. They don't even have a 200-point total. Smaller totals like that, I usually favor towards the bigs. Moving over to the Utah side of things, Rudy Gobert has an interesting price tag. Somebody who I don't mind. And I know he has a little upside on that price tag. So looking out for the injury situation over here with Derek Favors. If he's out, I really love Gobert even more for blocks and things like that. He's just, I don't know if they held him out, what they held him out for last game, but he's just, he's been banged up, man. He got Favors. He had knee problems and back problems and things like that. George Hill, 5,900 on DraftKings. On Fanduel, he's priced at $6K. So his price is going down. Going against the Milwaukee team, Favors out, then I probably like to play. Someone we know who can hit value. He's got to give you about 30. We know he can do that, Gordon Hayward, interesting price tag. He's down at 6,600. The minutes and the usage, it's very enticing. It's very enticing. Especially if Hayward, if Favors is out, very enticing. He's coming in at 7,400 on DraftKings, so on FanDuel, so you get him at an 800 discount on FanDuel, on DraftKings. So we know that's something to keep an eye out on. I love that price tag on him any day. Rodney Hood is sporting a very nice price tag as well, 4,100. Someone who's all he needs is about mid-20s. You really want to see him get about 30, and we know that's capable. I don't mind the play. Like I said, a cheap option. Like I said, two guard is really loaded, with cheaper options today and mid-range options. But he's 4,100 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is 4,500. So you can really pay down. You can really pay down that shooting guard today. The rest of these guys, I'm probably not on them. Alec Burks, keep an eye out on him. It looked like the coach won't let us know when his restrictions get lifted at 3,200. Oh, shucks. Ain't that something? I just exited out. Let me pause this real fast. All right, I'm definitely back down. And that's it. We're going to move over to Chicago and OKC side of things. Yeah, so totals for this one, we have 207, Oklahoma by 3. 207, Oklahoma by 3. Oklahoma at home. Looking at the Chicago side of things, they got to face Wesley tonight. Keeping an eye out for Taj Gibson injury situation. That's it for the Chicago side. You got Jimmy Butler coming in at 8,800. I don't, OKC going to try to keep the pace up. They're going to try to throw a couple decent defenders at Jimmy Butler, and Eric Roberson. I know that probably give him some different looks. Eric Roberson and you know uh, Grant and guys like that. Um, Jimmy Butler, he has his games. He tears it up when he actually have been getting it in. Somebody who I rarely roster. Don't know if I'll be rostering him tonight. We all know what he can do. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be rostering him or if he's on my radar right now with this big slate. Dwayne Wade is somebody I probably don't mind. You'll probably see a lot of Oladipo. Um, Taj Gibson, you want to keep out for the injury situation over there. He's coming in at 5K. Uh, Interesting play. He'll probably have to deal with Sabonis if he does play. Sabonis, he's someone, he shoots the three. He's kind of crafty, man. I like Sabonis as a player. Robin Lopez, interesting play right here. They'll probably need him to get down there and bang with Adams, and at 4,300, I don't mind the play. Last time he played, I was on him. I had him, and it was very good for me. He went 10 times against Philly, and there you have it. But I don't mind Robin Lopez today for some reason, especially if Taj is out. Rondo, his production has been trending up lately. That's a good thing. Against Philly, he played 21 minutes and 31 fantasy points. Somebody who I probably won't be playing, but he's worth a look. I mentioned Mirotic. The rest of these guys, GPP options, none more and none less. McDermott, his minutes have been going down lately, and due to production. What did Mirotic do last game? Oh, we had a Mirotic sighting. He hit value, exceeded a little bit. But those are GPP options. The rest. And then on OKC side of things, you got Russell Westbrook. With the question with him is always, should you play him or not? To play or to fade? I've been fading him more than ever. Last game he played against, they'll be on the back-to-back as well. So last game he played against the San Antonio Spurs, came in at 12.3, didn't hit value. So there you have it for that. But that's just, he can explode at any time. We know that. Oladipo, interesting play. Nice, another shooting guard coming in at in a pretty nice spot. He logs a ton of minutes, and he gets shots. 5,500. I don't mind the play. He's gonna have to probably guard Dwayne Wade, so that's something to take in consideration. Steven Adams, 5,400. I don't mind the play. Chicago is a great rebounding team, statistically. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, so that's that. Enes Kanter out. Andre Roberson, somebody who I don't really roster, and that's that. GPP, I still don't roster him. It's got to be a 2-game slate or something like that. Anyway, Laverne and Sabonis. Laverne, what was his minutes like last night? 15 minutes. Okay, so that means Sabonis, a cheap option. His minutes are safe, barring foul trouble. He can shoot the three. He has a little jump shot. He's crafty. He got hands. He's crafty around the boards and things like that. He needs to cut down on these turnovers, but he's crafty around that basket. Somebody who I don't mind. Still sitting down there, pretty cheap. I pointed him out yesterday. I wish I would have plugged him. I didn't even. It's like I was just so. That last minute before a lock could throw you for a loop. You guys can always get a pen and pad and jot stuff down. That's another thing I need to add to my arsenal. He was going up against a pretty bad rebounding team. A team that's I'm not too fond of their rebounders over there. So you see he got a boost in the rebound category, which I knew, and I didn't even fire him up. So the rest of these guys, is self-explanatory. Moving on over to the last game of the night, your hammer game. A rematch. These teams just played a few days ago. Charlotte will be on the road. Let me see what type of totals I got for this one. 223. Golden State by 15. On the Charlotte side of things, we're going to keep out for injury situations in Zeller, Lamb. Lamb, he played, he's questionable. He played, played 6 minutes yesterday, so that's something to look at. Frank Kaminsky, he's a cheaper power forward option. Especially with all the injuries going on, you have to keep an eye on that. This is an important game for a lot of people who take pride in having some late night options to help out with the lineups. Marco Bellinelli, another cheap option coming off the bench, seeing upwards of 25 minutes at least. He put up 18 fantasy points last time these two teams played. They were at home, I just went to Kaminsky. Excuse me. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at 5,200 at his price point, coming in at the small forward position. This slate is big enough to find somebody else, but last time these two teams met, he did have 32 fantasy points in an up-paced game, where there's plenty of rebounding opportunities and things like that. Marvin Williams, he's priced at 4,900. I took him on DraftKings on Fanduel last night, just for a GPP. Last time these two teams played, he had 29 fantasy points, so that's something to look at. Moving on up to Batum, he's somebody who I never mind playing. Crazy consistent. He does a lot of everything that helps him build up to his to hitting value. So if you ever catch him on a game where he just feels like he want to score like 30 points, he can easily give you 50, 60 fantasy points, So last time these two teams played, he had 35 fantasy points as well. And he was priced around 7,400 at that time. So, pretty safe option, for the most. I've been broiling him out all the time, just waiting for that explosion. I'll definitely be happy when it hits. Kemba Walker had a pretty decent game last night. Somebody who I don't mind. Last time they played, he had 45 fantasy points, coming in at 8K last game of the night, and there you have it. On the Golden State side of things, you want to look at come here, let me turn that on for you. Yeah, so for the Golden State side of things, you got Kevin Durant. Do you feel like he's going to hit value or not? That's the question. Of course, 9 times out of 10, he will. Last time these two teams played, he had about close to 50 fantasy points. Yeah, at 9,400, he was 9,400, right around value. If you want to pay up for him, there you have it. Curry, keep an eye out on injury situation for Curry. Zaza, West, keep an eye on those injury situations. Stephen Curry, he's a big key to the night. Hopefully we get some injury news. They're playing in the late night game. Hopefully we get some injury news, man. Early. Actually, he has a cold or whatever, a flu or whatever. So
Daddy, I find a video on YouTube.
You see my video on YouTube?
Yeah.
On the tablet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes, I'm doing one now as well.
Right.
So yeah. So they played a late game, so hopefully we get some early news on this situation, because there's a possibility that people can fade and he'll be low owned and all that, so if you don't get some news, you know if you got extra money and you do multiple lineups and you got money to blow, I definitely wouldn't mind throwing them in a GPP, especially if you don't get the news. A separate GPP if you got money to burn. If we don't get the news. So Draymond Green, he's had a few disappointing games, man. What's up, Dre? A few disappointing games. He ain't been hitting value lately. So last time these two teams met, he had 38 fantasy points. That was one of his better games as of late, and that's a little info on him. Klay Thompson, his pricing shot up. He's at 6,800 on DraftKings, and on Fanduel, he's priced at 6,300. So he had a pretty decent games last time these two teams met. 31 fantasy points. He just needs to get his peripheral game up. For that reason, he's pretty consistent at scoring around that 30 fantasy point range, but he really needs to get his peripherals up to see more production fantasy wise for me. Andre Iguodala, he's been hitting that 20-something fantasy point output, at random. So if you're looking for that type of production, then, there you have it. Interesting thing I didn't point out was Draymond Green. You can get him on FanDuel for 7,300, and that's a 800 difference right there. And Zaza Pachulia, if he can't go, then you'll probably be looking at JaVale McGee, minimum priced. Somebody who, for rebounds and blocks and things like that. He has a little catch an alley-oop here and there, or put back, So keep an eye on that. And with that being said, we got through this 12-game slate. Man, I'm happy if you stayed there with me. With that being said, I'll go through the slate. And I'm going to give you probably my favorite play from each game. And I'll start off with the Indiana game. I'll probably say my favorite play would probably be Jeff Teague over here in this one. Their price tag is a pretty good price tag, I'll probably, and given the minutes giving the minutes to Vucevic, I like those too. Moving over to the Minnesota and Cleveland. Favorite play is going to be hard. With all the narratives and things like that going on, man, I mean, it's easy to say LeBron James could be your favorite play. Cleveland, they need a win, man. They need a win. I really want to say Wiggins is my favorite play, but I'm definitely just going to stick with LeBron. You know, I know his price is he's at a very nice price. Too. So I have to stick with LeBron. Towns has a great matchup. I really like Wiggins, but I got to do some more investigation. But for safety reasons, LeBron. Looking at Atlanta and Miami side of things, I like Millsap and Goran Dragic. I don't mind Hassan Whiteside for GPPs. Dwight Howard might have the upper hand. New Orleans and Detroit. I want to say Drummond goes absolutely nuts this game, but I mean, I wouldn't rule that out. I like Anthony Davis. I like Drummond. I like Holiday. I like Reggie Jackson as well. My favorite play from this game is probably going to be Caldwell Pope. Got to keep an eye out for the injury situation because Terrence Jones could step into the starting lineup. I like Caldwell Pope. There's so many two cheaper options at the two guard and mid-range options at the two guard position. Got to find the best matchup. But Caldwell Pope does have a good matchup. Holiday has a good matchup. Reggie Jackson's matchup is good as well. So there's some options over there. You just got to narrow it down. I love Carmelo Anthony's price. I love Brook Lopez's price. Brandon, got to keep an eye out for the injury situations over here. I love Trevor Booker's price. But the minutes, you got to figure out the minute situation over there. Cheaper options, honorable mentions are Dinwiddie and Isaiah Whitehead. As they log in, they split the minutes over here, and the fantasy production is pretty much the same, around that mid-20s for that lower price. Hernan Gomez gets to start, you can fire him up. Toronto and Boston, favorite plays. My favorite play of this one would be Norman Powell, especially on FanDuel. You get him at 4,200, but he's multi-positional. So, you can play him at the 2 and the 3 with all of the cheap options and the mid-range options at 2 guard. You can easily slide him over to the 3, and then, that'll give you some flexibility to play up for other players in different spots. Valanciunas is in a good spot this game. I don't know about Horford, man. He has been crazy consistent as of late. Lowry, a great spot. Thomas, what you see is what you get with Thomas. He's just been chunking it up lately. He's 9,500 on DraftKings. He's 10-6 on FanDuel. Philly game. I like T.J. McConnell in this one, and I don't mind Harrison Barnes. It's one of my favorite plays over there. It's a lot of options in this game, though. In that game, I just say those are probably my favorite. L.A. Clippers and Phoenix. Going back to that Dallas game, Yogi Ferrell and Yogi Ferrell and Harrison Barnes. Over here, LA Clippers and Phoenix. Like I said, I really love the price tag on Blake Griffin. I don't know what his minutes going to be like though, man. If you feel like he's going to get, uh, upwards, in that, play a ton in that 30-minute range, man, he instantly becomes one of my favorite plays on the slate. Devin Booker, I like Devin Booker as well. On the Memphis and Denver side of things, I'll just say my favorite play. We don't know the injury situation out of these guys, but Conley. And I like the price tag on Marcus Gasol. I really like Conley in this one. Milwaukee and Utah. I like Gobert. I like the price tag on Gordon Hayward. Chicago and OKC. I don't mind some Dwayne Wade or some Oladipo. I'm staring hard at Robin Lopez. The production has been there for Rondo. He's somebody to keep an eye out on. Steven Adams, I'm kind of iffy on him. Westbrook is always in play. Last game of the night, I like Batum. He's just been crazy consistent. I don't mind Kimba coming from behind. Draymond Green needs to really step his game up. I like Draymond Green on Fanduel only at that 7,300. I think he can reach value there. Depending on how bad he's been playing. So, you know what? Another guy I didn't point out, Spencer Hawes. He had a pretty decent output, last time these teams played. So he's somebody to keep an eye out on. And if Zaza doesn't give it a run, you can definitely look at a very cheap hammer option in JaVale McGee. Getting a piece of this game for the low. I don't mind that. So, thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. You know what I'm saying? You give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, or whatever you guys want to do. Follow me on Twitter at Denzel1. Links to my Facebook group down there, Fanduel group, but we cover everything. You can like my Facebook page. Firstdown Podcast is where I push out lineups and when I get a chance. Here's a tip. I already looked at tomorrow's game. We got 4 games slate. So we got 12 games on tap today. So if you feel like there's so many outs, you can attack this attack this slate by the different slates that they provide at like late night and things like that. That's probably what I'll end up doing. But like I said, I always look ahead to tomorrow. We got 4 games on tap tomorrow. Remember, we got 12 games today, 4 games tomorrow. So that's something to keep in mind when you're going through your bankroll. You're doing a little bankroll management things. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, guys, peace out. I'm out of here, man.